I'm waiting for him to record. All right, I'm announcing a call to order of a quorum present at 6:04 p.m. of the Parks and Recreation Board of the City of Hazlet in Hazlet, Texas. All right, citizens' participation and comments. There are none. Items of community interest. Saturday, May 6th is the general election. For the purpose of electing the mayor, council member place 2 and council member place 4. Terms for these positions will be 2 years. Applications are no longer being accepted. All right, Hazlet is hiring Parks and Ground crew leader, Parks and Grounds maintenance worker, staff accountant, water maintenance worker number 1, water maintenance worker number 2. Please visit the Employment Opportunities tab on the Hazlet website to apply. Friday, March the 17th, the Carter Blood Care bus will be located at the Public Library in Hazlet, right here behind us, from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. All right. I have a letter to read to the board and everyone else here. Please accept this email as my resignation from the park board. Unfortunately, I'm unable to attend the meeting today, as I am more frequently working in the downtown Fort Worth area and not remote. The 6 p.m. time is not something I can regularly meet. I would like to allow someone else in the community that can more regularly attend meetings to have the opportunity to serve on the board. I appreciated the opportunity to serve and hope to help the community in other ways in the future. Thank you, Matt. So that was Matt Kushner's resignation from the park. So if you have any friends, we still have 3 slots open. That makes 3.
And one of those spots can be somebody that's not in the city,
Yes.
correct?
So I think it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we were having a low participation. And there is 1 slot available to someone that lives in, is it a certain zip code? I know it included the Sendera Ranch area because their address, non-resident. So I know that there are people that live in the community and their mail comes to Hazlet, but they don't actually live in Hazlet. But they are welcome to join the Parks Board if they would like to help make decisions about the park events that they might be attending. Which is 1 slot, yeah. The rest of them have to be residents of Hazlet. So just 1. Okay, consent agenda. So we can.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do we have any alternates?
We do not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why there's 1 full-time position and then 2 alternate spots open. Yeah. The consent agenda can be sort of lumped together here. If you would like to discuss, consider an act to approve the financial reports from January and February of 2023, as well as the minutes from our last meeting, January 11th.
This is Cindy. I'd like to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
With the financial statement, we can do it collectively. You want to do them 1 at a time, or do you want to do the consent agenda? It's up to you.
I'd rather wait and ask them if there's any changes that we need to
Sure.
look at for the.
So we have a motion to approve the minutes from January 11th.
I'll approve. Surge.
Surge is seconding that. All in favor? None opposed? Motion passes. And then the financial reports from January and February.
David, is there anything we need to be looking at in particular?
Wow, we got almost $700 in interest income. Good income right there. So I'm curious to know why the general fund transfer increased. Was it something that we asked for, or does it get transferred in increments and I just hadn't noticed that before? On that Park Board Fund 4. So is it just that 5,200 comes over every month until we reach the budget of 62,000? Yeah, I think that that's what it is. Sorry, I'm right. That's what it is. So.
If there's no further discussion, this is Cindy. I'd like to approve the financial statement.
This is Barbara, I'll second.
For both.
I second both.
Motion to approve January and February by Cindy, seconded by Barbara. All in favor? None opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Discuss, consider, and act on expenditures and planning of future projects and events. We have the Easter egg hunt scheduled for April 1st. Is it really 4 to 5? Has it always been 4 to 5? Oh my word. All right, 4 to 5 p.m. And we have the eggs. I saw that on there. Okay.
And I'm sorry to say I will not be able to attend first
Okay.
time in years.
Okay. I actually am going to be very closely, maybe not able to attend myself, so that would be interesting. Anybody else able to show up for an hour and fling some Easter eggs around?
So, before I volunteer myself.
Yeah.
It's 4 to 5, and what is the commitment for volunteer the day before?
So
And is-
last year we had a few like middle school students or something that showed up, but and I can try. But basically, the guys put up some ropes and section it off by age group, and then the DJ comes and calls out the age group, and they go one at a time, and then the bunny walks around. Do we have a bunny, by the way? We do have the bunny. She's agreed. Okay. We gave her a raise. She deserved the raise. And then it literally takes an hour. I think it takes about a 2-hour commitment because
Sure.
you do need to come early, like she's saying, just to make sure the eggs are out.
2 to 5, at least.
Right.
Somewhere.
I mean, even if you came 2 to 3 and had to run home and get a sandwich and come back, I mean,
I will volunteer.
okay. Anybody else? Will you be around? Okay.
It's my dad's 99th birthday, so if my sister's here from Washington, then
Okay.
that will be our birthday day, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'll let
And I said I'm not able to help. I can come at 2 and make sure the eggs get out. I just have to be downtown at 6.
And Dana is
Yes, Chuck is a maybe.
Chuck is a maybe.
Dana is a maybe. I'm having another knee procedure, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Cindy was a no. And Barbara was a maybe. And Sarah will be here at least at the 2 o'clock throughout the eggs time. So we need a motion to request, do we have time to request city council? City council to allow us to use, okay. So this is Sarah. I'll make a motion to request city council approve utilizing the park area as parking for the April 1st egg event.
I'll second.
Chuck seconds. And all in favor? None opposed?
I have a suggestion on the Easter egg hunt.
Yes.
That we make sure the fields are clear of ants. Yeah.
Is that possible? And then if we could, when we rope that off, I know last year I ran to the shed and got some Christmas garland, but if we can rope it, you know how y'all line it out, but just run one across, like just one rope from one end to the other, because then we can let each section go at a time. I know they don't listen, but at least, can we do that? Ooh, yes, it does. Can we do it where the bleachers are? But maybe put the little kids on the park side and then the bigger kids just section them off like 3 sections and just divide the groups. How many groups, age groups do we have? Can we make it 4? Okay. I do. Mhm. So where can we? Is the tennis court, is it considered a construction site and we can't be close to it? Okay.
But you'll do it on the other side of that, right? In that big open area for the older kids, yeah. We also need to get the prizes too. Do we need to allocate money for that?
Like a football or a baseball or basketball or something.
So if we have 5 groups and you do 2 on each of them?
I have a suggestion for the older kids to get a kid's size tennis racket. We're having new courts. That'd be a great prize, I think.
Yeah, or pickleball paddles.
Yeah.
People usually like the basketballs and things, so I think a tennis racket and a basketball and even the older and then that next older, because my daughter's 12. I mean, my daughter's 10, my son is 12, and I feel like they're in different groups. So we could even, I mean, my daughter would like a tennis racket.
I'm gonna.
So
look
even
at
that
where-
10-year-old could
Yeah, and there's a cutoff where the tennis, they begin to use
be adult.
adult size, and I'll try to look that up and mention that information to you, Katrina, before I leave.
Real quick question, and the prizes are awarded for?
Oh, so let me explain. That's a good question. So so we buy all the eggs pre-filled because ain't nobody got time for that. And then we throw them out in the sections. Well, we crack open 2 eggs and replace them with a golden ticket. And whoever finds the golden ticket can bring them to the DJ booth and get their prize for having found the golden ticket in that egg section.
And that's 1 egg, golden egg per section?
2 golden eggs per section.
Okay, cool.
And
So
there's
we'll
a-
have 10 prizes.
Correct. So there's usually about 10 prizes. I want to say it's like we usually budget like $100 or $200.
I'm thinking that 200, because if she gets them around $20 a piece, some would be a little more. Yeah, some would be a little more, some would be a little less.
Mhm,
so.
right.
So I'd like to make a motion that we allocate $200 for the prizes for the Easter egg hunt.
This is Barbara, I second.
All in favor? None opposed? $200 for the prizes. Can we send an email? Do we need to ask permission to the other board members to see if they are available to help guard a section for an hour? Yeah. And then maybe if anyone has submitted an application for one of those board member things I was talking about earlier, that deadline that passed, I'm guessing people have applied to sit and, keep their seat or renew their mayor seat. So maybe we can specifically ask them as candidates on the ballot if they would like to. Can they do that? But I meant like if somebody wasn't already on a board or a commission, like people that have shown interest in our community, like, does that make sense? Do we have access to that? Can we do that? Okay. Right, that's what I meant, like make sure the candidates know about the event. Oh, okay, all right. But we can email the boards just like from you to them. Okay, perfect. Anything else for the Easter egg hunt? Bunny, eggs, DJ, prizes. Parking. And if anybody knows anyone that might volunteer, like a high school student or a middle school student. The middle school students actually were really helpful last year. Because Oh. Sure. Oh.
I'll ask. No, it's at Northwest too. I'll ask Tanya though. Maybe the softball girls can come out.
Yeah. We'll try. Anybody has any secret connections, let us know. Okay, so then we will check Memorial Day celebration. That's going to be May 29th. I think we can wait another month or so to make any more plans on that. And our fireworks and Independence Day event will be June the 30th.
There's been a little bit of discussion about possibly having a band. Do we have any information on that?
We do. Do we have those quotes to look on the screen by any chance? Were they scanned in? No. Please.
With the stage, sorry, incognito, $5,000 with the stage, And the next one is the
I'm sorry,
dive,
just to clarify, the $5,000 includes the stage, or it's $5,000 plus the cost of this?
5,000 with the stage includes everything. The dive bar boom box for 2,000. And the last one is Professor D band out of Dallas, and they are 15,000. You want to see? I'm gonna pass it around so y'all can see. And that's on the low end. They go all the way to 55,000.
Does that dive bar boombox mention anything about needing a stage or coming with a stage or
You
anything?
know, they didn't mention a lot, but they did want 500 extra to play our soundtrack, which is why it's 2,000 and not 1,500
What do you mean player soundtrack?
for the fireworks show at the because
Oh.
whoever comes, we're not getting a second sound system.
Don't we have a DJ though?
Well, you guys haven't approved it yet, but that's coming up on the list. Think about it.
Fair.
Mike, can you tell us anything about that band?
Yeah, when we had a 2-night. Why don't you
Anything you want to do, I mean, it's all 80s, 90s rock. It's stuff. I've personal friends with two of the members, kind of going back and forth with them, that they would come here, bring get part of the stage, they have an awesome light package, sound, so it's a full package.
And do they engage the crowd and
Okay.
stuff?
Yeah, the leader of it, he actually gets out and walks around and gets with he loves doing that. He's a showman, so he loves getting out there doing stuff. So I would recommend.
I would recommend them again.
They're good.
So they have actually have two different same band, but they have two different band names that they have. So Incognito is the main one, the other one is the Van Halen tribute. So doing Incognito, the main guy, he's the drummer. Do the Van Halen tribute band, he's the front man. They draw the band. Sounds like
Are y'all ready to make a
I'm not
vote,
the
or
only band we
what
ever
should
So
we
I'm
do?
just pulling up this other one. I actually have,
Brothers to
I
show up to some event.
solicited the other group
And
just
they
to have
enjoyed
someone
it.
to compare to, but I don't have any.
pull up the other bands and try to find a YouTube if y'all want to.
Yeah, I just pulled up a video, a YouTube video here, just of the other group, just so you can hear their sound. This is the Dive, whatever it's called. Dive Bar Boombox. No, this is the $2,000 one.
And was it? Is it a 3-member? I think, or
I mean, that's just one of their songs that's on their page. It says Classic Americana, Texas. Is there a video of the other group? I mean, just so you can hear how they. I feel like I've seen Incognito, I just don't remember.
This is that ice cold Michelle White with that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpiece. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, it's so pretty. I'm too hot. Gonna Police in a pocket, man, I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man, I'm too hot. Say my name, they know who I am, I'm too hot. And my band about that money, break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Saturday night, a week in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on.
Maybe one day, I don't know.
I found one more just for that other group, just to hear their, I guess they do some Fleetwood Mac. This one is just one more of that dive bar boombox. Can you find one of Incognito?
Yeah, I think we'll have to go to their face.
This is Dive Bar Boombox. Dive Bar Boombox. It's that girl right there in the black that's singing in the video. So they perform sometimes in that winery. That's where that video is. In Grapevine. That's the only reason I sent them a request for information. I never had heard them before. I guess it depends on which vibe you want.
And do we have a video of Incognito?
But I don't know.
Yeah, we can't. YouTube.
I mean, we are here. I don't know how he will replay a YouTube video while we stream YouTube. If we'll flag it. Probably. No, that's what we're looking for. But
Well,
you
it
can
has.
use
I mean,
pages.
if it has.
Can you just text him and make sure we can stream?
Yeah, right there.
I just found a song. I won't say where I found it. Oh, good. Do they all kind of do other people's songs? Do they have original songs or do they just kind of? cover. Same, is that the same for the, do we know if the dive bar boombox people are the same?
I don't know, I don't know.
For there, do you see the,
Well, I kind of think because Dana's seen them before and Mike's seen them, and we already kind of have their take on how they handle the crowds and stuff like that. I'd like to suggest that we do incognito. Besides, they're also familiar with the area.
Yeah, they're pretty much the most,
Well, how much do y'all remember what we spent for La Freak when we,
too much?
it was a lot more than that.
10
That's
grand
what,
the last,
that's what I was thinking, and to me, this group sounds like it's more, they do a wider variety. Incognito. And it looked like the dive bar group where they were 3 people, and it seems like the other is a bigger band, so it'll have a better sound for outdoors.
Money wasn't an object, I'm not gonna lie. I like that little Professor G group, but
Yeah.
I don't think I want to pay 15,000 without a stage, just saying.
no, I think they'd bring it, but
This is Hazlet, Texas, population 2,000.
Are you ready for a motion? I move that we decide to expend $5,000 to book Incognito Band for the Memorial Day celebration. Nope, sorry, the Independence Day event. So sorry.
All right, a motion was made by Barbara for $5,000 to cover incognito for the fireworks Independence Day event on June the 30th. Do I
This
have a
is
second?
Cindy, I second.
All in favor? None opposed?
Thank
And do we need to have a different sound system for them to run the music for the fireworks?
yeah, they're gonna,
They're gonna do it,
we
okay.
just need to give them our, their flash.
And what time is that, I have it in front of me. What time is that for?
I think we have them starting at 30. I don't know, you guys have me.
6:30 for 2.5 hours.
3 hour block, half hour.
Oh, I see.
So we have a pretty long list under, for independence here, but one other benefit is they don't have to be under the pavilion on the basketball court. They could probably be anywhere out in the sun because they're gonna bring their own stage. So you guys need to think about how we want that to look and if we want the DJ and any other announcement area. No, but they'll bring it, they'll set it up, so they could be in the parking lot or whatever, you know, wherever we want to lay this out. So I don't know if you guys wanted to do with the DJ and all that or not.
Well, do we need a DJ for anything before 6 o'clock? Or 6:30? Don't we like throw out t-shirts or something? I don't know, I'm asking.
Okay, we have.
I don't know why
you
we
know,
couldn't
somebody
do
does
that
the
though.
flag.
We would have to have an intercom. We would need an intercom system in order to megaphone it.
Maybe we could talk to the band and do it when they take break.
Oh, maybe.
And if
Certainly.
they would let us use their microphone.
Right.
I'm assuming they take breaks, right? In 2 hours, you'd have to like get some water or something.
Mike, do you think that they'd work with us on that?
Oh, we were just wondering, you know how we sometimes throw out like t-shirts and old inflatable balls and things like that? Do you think that would they let us borrow their microphone or do that for us during a break?
Don't let Mike do it.
Or could you do it? Would they let you do it? Well, I guess we were assuming that they would take a break to get some water or something.
So they do, a little they have, take a break,
Yes.
back at, they do take a break.
I
And
know,
do
I
you
guess we
think
just-
that they would be opposed to one of us using a microphone for just a few minutes while they're changing costumes and everything? Right. Okay.
What time does the event start again?
Well, vendors are set up by 6.
Oh, okay. And there's no parade again because of the roads and
Right.
stuff.
And what time would the band start?
6:30.
Or at 6:30.
They will be here at 6 as well too then, or earlier.
I'm
I'm
guessing
sorry.
they show up early to set up their stage. They'd be there
Yeah,
by
that'll
6.
take them a while to set up, but they're gonna start about 6:30, I think. We haven't actually, like, we can flex out a little bit. You get what? But it's 3 hours, so how long? So, and we need them to end by like 9:15.
I think it fell. Did my paper fall from here?
No,
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought I had it. Where'd I go?
Well, I'm sure now that we've booked them, I mean,
Sure.
once we let them know and get everything set up,
I was
we
thinking
can
that there would be a
talk to them.
downtime, but I guess there won't be.
Well, what time
Yeah.
because wouldn't we want them to go up right up to the fireworks starting?
well, if
They
they
will.
play until 9 and the fireworks are supposed to start at 9:15,
But they're playing 2 hours.
Oh, it says right here, they're gonna start at 6:30 and play for 2.5 hours.
And then
8:30,
allow us
9.
to use their stuff for 30 minutes to do the soundtrack for the fireworks.
6:30.
Well, 20
and
minutes.
okay, so the
But yeah, we
soundtrack
always
set,
make an
till 9.
announcement that the lights will be off.
right? I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
going to work
good.
out well.
Yeah, 6:30 to 9. That's perfect.
Good.
So was the question still, do we want a DJ or not? Was that still out there? 'Cause
So
I
do
don't,
we want to pull out the other stage, David, and do we need a DJ? And
I don't
Yeah,
think
they
we
might
need
not.
one.
I don't think so either.
Well, and last year, I was going to agree. Sorry. I think last year, he's so great and he loves our events when he's here himself. He does such a great job of engaging people. But last year, it was the point of getting people to know that he was back there
right,
because of where we had him located. I feel like a band on a stage, nobody's going to miss that.
right.
Like they're going to know that there's a band on a stage the whole time wherever they are. And if they want to
Exactly.
have the band music, they're going to go to it. And so I don't know that there's an advantage to having another stage that would detract from
agree.
that. So
But that's also fine.
I don't think we need it. Anyone else think we might need the DJ?
I don't think we need them.
What else is on our list for?
Where do we set the band up? I've never come down to
So
the
the
actual
last time
party.
we had a band, it was in the parking lot. Is that where you think you'll put him this time, David? Pavilion. And I know the time that we had the freak and they required like a travel trailer for changing and all those things, that was interesting. They were just kind of in the parking lot, I remember.
We've done it several times.
Well, there again, we've got a little time to think about that before, and we can find out how big their stage is and what all they need for plugging
many-
things in and all that stuff too.
How many vendors and all that
Right.
stuff. So what else is there for 4th of July?
Okay, so we need to make recommendation to council to grant waivers to the following park rules for this event.
Okay.
Allow parking on an unpaved surface for the event parking. To allow motorized vehicles on unpaved surfaces. To allow the park to remain open after 10 p.m. To allow amplified sound after 10 p.m. And to allow temporary signs for the event. We can do that all in one.
So would the motion read, I agree with what Katrina said?
Motion
to make
to-
recommendation to city council to grant waivers to the park rules for this event for the following.
Motioned by Cindy Laird,
There you go.
as stated by Katrina.
Okay.
Any seconds?
And the search, I will second that.
Third seconded the motion to recommend to council. All in favor? None opposed? Motion passes.
The next item on my list is, so this is our sponsor, our draft sponsor page, and our most expensive, we go from 250, 500, or 1,000, 2,500 sponsorship level. And then on your vendor application, before I publish this, I want you guys to agree. So the same as last year is $50 for vendors and $100 for premium spaces on concrete for like a food truck. Because they're already asking about vendors. So
Did it work out okay last year, like that?
I think so.
So the smaller parking lot that's near the basketball court was where the vendors were, correct?
Smaller.
Well, not the huge field that we use, but the regular parking lot.
Yeah. For
So-
like food trucks that, can't really hop the curb.
Right. So we just need to keep that in mind too, because of where we want to put the band.
Right.
So.
And we didn't max out last year. Had a couple of spaces.
And I know this is kind of irrelevant, but I feel like if there are food trucks, you know how the road kind of wraps around a little bit behind the bathroom? If there are food trucks over there, people will move to the food when they're hungry. So if we had to move them back to put the stage in that, closer to the park area, I think that, I don't know, people like to eat.
So I don't know, Kurt might make us keep a drive. Yeah. So.
Well, there's that.
So if you guys agree with those rates, we can.
If they worked last year, I think we should just keep them the same way, because we did go up on them last year, right? For the premium
Yes, I
spots.
think last year was the first, and
Right.
then we kept that for $100.
We need to set a limit on the number of premium spots that are available because of the band and the
I'll
parking
let
and the
David
drive-through.
do that after they map.
Okay. I mean, because if we have 18 people that decide they want premium spots and we only have 10, then
Right.
that could
We'll
be a
just
problem.
kinda see how many.
Okay.
We only had like,
Well, and you could also put on there based on availability.
yeah.
Yeah.
We really have never turned anybody away. We'll cross that bridge.
And this is Cindy. I'd like to make a motion that we keep the same prices that we had last year.
This is Barbara. I'll second.
Cindy motions, Barbara seconds. All in favor? None opposed?
So the next item on the list is mobile rock climbing, the train, and the foam, all from Inflatable Party Magic, like we had last year. I think we had all three of those, maybe not sure, but mobile rock climbing 1,100, train 990, foam pit 580.
Did we find out? Remember, you and I had talked about at one point, it was a little bit more expensive, but to do that bungee jumping thing where the kids strap in the harness and then there's the 3 trampolines and they jump on that, is that in that same option group?
It could be. I'm not going to price that. I thought.
So you said the rock climbing thing is how much? 1,100? And then the train was
990.
$990.
And that foam pit thing, and all those prices are higher than what we paid last year. The foam pit for 580.
I think the foam pit was interesting, but I really don't see the draw in that. It was messy and there was lots of, it was messy.
I will say that whoever brought the foam pit did a good job at managing their own stuff.
Well,
So
that's the same
I
price
like their
as
company.
inflatable party
Yeah.
mat.
I
And
think it would be cool. My daughter has been begging me to ask y'all for this, but
To have
to
the,
try that bungee jumping thing, where they harness in and they all
Well,
jump on their
inflatable
like
party
different
mat.
things. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They have them in the malls.
Is there an age limit on that?
I don't know.
I was
think it
just
would
wondering
depend
the
on
same
which
thing.
unit.
Well, I like the idea that we've got the train for the younger ones
Yes,
and the
train
the
is
rock
always very
climbing
popular.
for the older kids, and I'm not opposed to that. It sounds like it would be fun.
I
But
mean,
let's
just to try it, like
find
we
out
tried
how
the
much
foam.
it is.
The foam was
Yeah.
fun. We can try it and think it's not great.
Well, and another thing I think that we need to keep in mind is how many kids can do the activity at one time. How long is the line going to be? And so that's, I don't
Go
have
up a little bit, it's right there.
I don't
It's
have
that
a-
third one over on the top. There's one, and what's the other one? What's the Euro bungee? Is that different?
I can't tell you.
So that one runs 4?
And that's a 2-hour.
Okay. So this one, it says 50 to 220 pounds, and then go back. Is there a weight limit on that other one?
So it looks like it's a one person at a time thing.
4. So see how there's 2 trampolines on each side, and then there's 2 jumpers?
Well, it's not clear in what the description that there are 4, so you don't know if this is a $1,300 times 2. Oh, 4 stations. Okay, now thank you. I see that down below.
And
Thank
again,
you.
that one says 50 to 220 pounds, so I guess it's weight, not age restricted.
not.
Yeah, just weight. I don't understand the difference between that one and the other one.
And could
Last
we,
time I looked, they didn't have 2 on their website, so I really don't know.
and to help the lines go faster, would we want to limit it to kids?
No,
and
I think
not
anybody
adults?
can do it. Up to 220 pounds. That'd be.
I know.
We need something for adults too. Oh, okay. So it's the extra station. Got it.
There you go.
I don't know. I think the 4 one is fine if we're just trying it out. And is this the place that has the tunnel that you like too, Katrina, for comparison?
Oh, that trailer thing? No, that's
Oh, okay.
all the way over in Garland.
Do we need to get any table and chair rentals as well?
I don't know. Just that last year. because it's very fun.
Oh, which- I think we did.
17.
Either
I think
somebody
we
had set
decided
up-
it was too hot in the summer to do face painting, if I remember, that it would just melt away.
Well, I think we still had our girl, but our girl has moved away. So she left some recommendation people. But I think what we noticed last year where there were people setting up as a vendor trying to sell that also.
Yes.
So it's you guys, your call. We can get quotes for that if y'all want to provide it or not.
I feel like the train is tradition, even though we don't have our old guy anymore. So I feel like people are probably coming to expect that from us. It's just a little trackless train that rides the kids around, and anybody can ride.
This
Infants,
is the
old
one who did
people.
it at Christmas.
Well,
I
and
mean,
just,
I for sure think we should at least keep the train.
yeah, and especially because that's something that little kids can do and not get hurt.
And when my kids were little, I rode with them. So I
Yeah.
mean, it was.
And when I saw it last time, there was always a line for the
There's
train.
always a line. Yes.
Which, that's what we want.
Very cool.
So how much did we spend last year on these entertainment things?
A little bit less. But
Well, because everything's
this-
gone up in price.
This one says $7.25 for 2 hours, then it says $2.25 for each hour after that. So it's $9.50 for 3 hours.
Yep.
Should we just do 3 hours?
on which one are you looking?
That train.
Well, no, I have an actual quote on that.
Oh, okay.
So the train for our event, all of these together now, keep that in mind, is $25.96. That is the foam pit, the mobile rock, and the track train. Mobile rock climbing. Last year, I want to say we paid like, $3.95 plus another $50 for the foam, and went up higher. It's like the cheapest thing. But it looks like we have enough budget.
Do we want to add anything for adults, like that axe throwing thing? Can we maybe call that guy that brings, I think it's a lot of fun, when he brings his little mobile axe. Have y'all done that?
I have not.
So at the National Night Out, Katrina, I'm pretty sure, found this guy that came
Yeah,
out.
he's
Was that
local
you?
there.
And he has basically like a cage and he has it roped off, and he puts his wood boards on the cage, and you literally axe throw. And you sign a waiver, you know, to make sure. My son did it. I did it. I even got my mom to try it one year that they were here. I personally think it's a lot of fun for the adults. I think me and David did it one year together.
I remember that.
Oh, it's so much fun. You wouldn't think that throwing an axe is fun, but it's great fun.
Yes, we will get a quote.
So are we limited on the number of events or activities within that?
So last year, we asked to combine the Wild West Fest that sometimes didn't occur and roll it into the 4th of July, because 4th of July was so much bigger and better last year. And so we have more budget for 4th of July than we have in previous years. So I think we can afford the band and the axe throwing and the things for the kids.
But do we have all the space to do this? I mean, I'm cool with doing like an axe throwing for adults and all
Yes,
that.
yeah.
The bubble, the soap, you know, that's relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
It takes some kids to do that, but including the trampoline and all that
Yeah.
would be kind of nice to have more than just 2 or 3 activities. Can we afford all that?
Yeah. What do you think?
My math is
And do we have the space to do it?
Well, we do have the space, don't we? Because can't we go on into Camel if we need that space?
it might say, like the bumper
Oh, yeah.
cars. Say,
But it looks like it's on grass.
yeah, I would imagine.
I wonder if it would fit where the bleachers are. Is that enough space there to stick that in there?
Can you scroll down? Is there any description on there that tells us more about that?
Specific. Oh, this is the V5. Sure, yeah, that's that. Want to try that smaller one and see if that had a size? So this one's the same. And then at the bottom, it doesn't say anything on this one either.
Looks like they both require the same size.
Will that fit? Katrina, about how much was that axe throwing? Do you remember before?
It's not bad. But no,
I feel like it can't be that. I mean, he just brings his trailer and wood.
and he looks. But I'm gonna write it now. I'll get a firm price quote on the bungee thing and on axe throwing.
Do we want to go ahead and just confirm the train and the rock and the foam as a bundle package? Or do you
I
guys
would
wanna-
if you want them, because this inventory is on a quote and they'll release it if we don't.
And
You
that was,
want it, yeah,
we would round up to $2,600, would you say?
yes, ma'am. And
And maybe that could fit next to the rock climbing thing, so it's like more of the activity stuff.
We could just make that whole area a play area.
Because you have the area on the south side of the tree. That's something smaller to go.
Maybe the foam pit or something.
It'd be kind of cool if we had all the vendors and all the.
Okay.
It was. Yep. And then the axe was right on the other side. Yeah, food on one side for people to rest and activities on the other, and then as long as we leave some of that space open for people to put their blankets for the viewing. I think they liked that area.
Right.
Well,
They did not.
Further than they have to.
They did not. Went to the action.
I mean, obviously, wherever we put our event,
well, where will the fireworks be? Oh, on across the
across
highway.
the street.
Okay.
Still pretty great. Well, and now we have the tennis court that's going to be there, so I feel like people won't go there anyway. Yep. Yes. So I passed out those beach balls, and that's where I walked when I was passing them out. It's all right where you're showing, and then in the front of the creek area, right alongside. Mhm.
Well, based on last year, then I just have a question. Instead of using that space where people tended to gather last year to watch the fireworks, maybe the fun stuff should be up there. And that's where your little cursor is, should be up there. So they enjoy all that stuff up there while it's light, and then move down to where they have their chairs later in the evening.
Another option.
Just a suggestion based on
guess-
data.
Or here's what we know, they're gonna do what they want.
Yeah. It was more on this side. I walked here, stepped over people in here, and there was just a few people back here.
Was there, but, okay, but the other issue is people go where there is stuff. So if there was stuff set up in that big empty place where you expected people to sit, they might set up their chairs around that area.
Bounce house.
Okay,
And nobody
Okay.
wanted to sit there.
okay. Right. Yep. Well, it's like us. I mean, we end up watching from our backyard because we have a great view and the kids can get in the pool. So, you know, they love it. It's our tradition.
All right, this is Cindy. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the offer for the bundle. of the rock climbing and the foam thing and the train. Or
Amount.
$2,600, she said. Just rounded up to
$2,600.
All right, Cindy motions,
Barbara will second.
Barbara seconds, all in favor? None opposed?
And we will get quotes for the bundle to add. Okay, so the next thing, is, how about security? Tarrant County Sheriff's Office, from 5:30 to 11, each officer will cost us $357.50. That's $65 an hour. So if you get 4 officers, that is $14.30. Two, right?
And didn't we decide that we liked the sheriff's department off-duty
after
better than the
company
other?
no-showed us.
Yeah.
do you think 4 is enough for the area that we're going to cover?
I'm not, is that enough?
Well, because if there's a problem, they'll call more.
Of course.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
They'll call the on-duty ones.
That's right.
Yeah, and we had, I don't know, I tried to find some prices to pay somebody to do our parking for us, and I didn't have any luck yet, but I think probably set money aside on the middle so far, because we have got to have help with that. Plus, yeah, we can ask for more, 65. Correct. So these are off-duty, constables off.
I mean, I think if we can get the off-duty ones, I think we need to at least secure 2, if not 4 of them.
I think,
We can always fill it in with other people, but at least if we have 2 like that know what they're doing, I mean, I hate to say
Sarah
it
had
like
to
that.
police some, vendors last.
Oh yeah, I had to police vendors. That was fun.
And we've thrown at least one vendor out.
I think it's good to have 3, because sometimes you have an issue where 2 need to go together to deal with something, and then you still have one that can.
I say you get 4.
I think
And
we
I
need
will-
4.
I'd
I
like to
really
bring
do.
an
I'd rather
attention.
have too many than not enough.
We have a particular vendor that likes to have not polite words on their product. And when I asked them to put it away, they moved it for that moment and then put it back out. When I came back with the officer, they kept it gone because they knew that they were going to be asked to leave if they kept putting that inappropriate equipment out. So I think that just this little Hazlitt thingy that I wear sometimes, it doesn't really need as much as the sheriff's badge. Yeah, I agree.
That has to be an on-duty officer.
But you really help to have this volume. Also, last that we were that park there. So
Yeah.
Inform the public we have to park on the side of the road. And minimum to make more park on that.
Well, we need to
Would
flag
we
it.
be
talked
able,
about-
it's not a lot, but would we be able to ask that Cook Children's and Urgent Care buildings if we can have that as overflow parking and then they
I
can
don't
walk
even think we
under the
have to
bridge?
ask them, they're closed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're closed.
Oh,
like
okay,
it's like-
okay. Because I feel like that's where I would park so I can get out easier.
I wish we could do the max we could put in this area. Yes, okay. But it is like kind of worried that trying to grow this bigger is not almost really not possible. there, and there's nowhere else to park, walk.
The only other option is Heritage Baptist, and then you gotta rent the bus.
Yeah, I've never had somebody tried that one.
Or no, we thought about it.
The idea,
Could,
That's what they're saying they did anyway.
I just, well, they're closed.
yeah. Like in the past, we were can park outside of our event, they were parked.
Yeah, all down at that doctor's office on this side, they were full.
Katrina, I remember one time I asked who, for a different event, who we advertised to, and it was a really large part of Fort Worth. And so I wondered if it's possible to narrow the amount, how far out the advertising of events goes,
Okay.
since we're growing so fast within our own city. So yes, we
So-
want to invite others and we don't want to exclude, but if people don't know about it, they're less likely to
So we
come.
have our House of Parks Facebook page and the
Mhm.
city website.
Mhm.
And other than our sponsors doing any advertising that they're doing, which I don't suspect a lot,
Okay.
that's the only advertising we offer. We used to pay Facebook advertising, which meant they pushed
Okay.
it out to more people. We
Okay.
stopped doing that.
Okay. That was
To
kind of
reel
the
it in
question.
tighter than that, and
There's no way. Right. Okay. Thank you.
$357.50, and that is
1,500.
from 5:30 to 11 per person. So if you have 4, it's $14.30.
I move that we set aside $14.30 to hire 4 off-duty officers for our Independence Day event.
Chuck, I'll second that.
Barbara motions, Chuck second, all in favor? Unopposed? Do we need light poles? Light towers? Yeah.
We can get a price. What about, we're not gonna get full?
We have time for that? Do we have time for the light towers to get them reserved? Okay. But I mean, we don't have to decide today.
Right,
Okay.
no, I think we're
That's what I'm
safe
getting at.
because-
So can y'all get us light towers and toilet for the next meeting estimate?
Yep.
If we need more.
Katrina, I know we had Heritage do the parking lot one time. Have you asked them if they would just oversee the parking?
We did mention it to him at Christmas. He's very nice.
Well, now that it's getting a little bit closer, maybe the youth director could get the teens to do it, or, they've got a school there. They can work on community hours and stuff too. One
I
year we
think we're
paid them.
gonna have to. And whoever we had last year was at Milestone. They did an excellent.
Oh, yes, I have that lady's number. I could text her again.
I think we're gonna have to offer to pay them really good to get that. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll work on some volunteers.
I mean, I tried to Google it, see if we could hire some parking people, but I didn't, I came up in.
What about the cowboy shirts?
Serious, we don't need 12 people who really know what they're doing.
Well, part of that. Yeah, they're good.
It is sad, it is very sad.
I could wait and then, all right, we'll. But if we have the off-duty officers, they did that last year. It was only one of them. They only took one of them who does it all the time. Also, he flashed his lights out there on 156 and let everybody out, stopped him, and then let everybody pass, and then stopped him again. And it was just
And
the one guy.
That was the on-duty officer, so you know, you just get lucky if they have.
Oh, okay,
These guys don't have cars
got it.
that you're paying. But I will ask him to, you know, put it on his radar again really early.
Has the constable been in touch with you that came out here? I've got his card.
Yes, I asked him for.
Oh, okay. Well, we may want to invite him to come because he was talking about being visible at community events.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll talk to you about it.
okay. The last item that I have any research on is, do you guys want to buy a promotional item to throw out from the stage or give out at this event or not? Maybe the beach balls is what you bought before, and to reorder 200 beach balls, they just happened to, you know, $388.69 for 200 of the same one. Or you could do frisbees with the logo on them. Price for $543.
I think I'm torn about the frisbees. I feel like we have the frisbee golf, but then if people have frisbees in the park and somebody gets hit in the head because people are messing around, at least with the beach balls, when the families were bouncing around, they're not very harmful. With that many people at the event, I think I would prefer the beach balls, though. If we're going to choose
We need
one.
to, if we're going to be throwing something, it needs to be soft.
Bubble blower.
I like the beach balls. I think it's a fun outdoor summer thing.
You just give them to the family. I pass them out deflated, you know, not inflated, and the families would blow them up and pass them around to their kids. And families would say, "Oh, can I have another one for my other kid?" And I would say, "No, it's one per family." And then I would just, you know, keep going. And if I had like a bunch, I was done. But you know what I mean? Like, ideally, if each group gets a ball, then they can have fun while they're waiting for fireworks.
I'm like Sari kind of stingy now.
Yeah.
Well, but they play together.
Because I only had like 50 in my hand, so I only had so many. So why would you give one to every kid? It's not like your family needs 12 beach balls.
Because if each kid has one, how do they play?
And I'm not kidding, y'all. I was walking up to groups where there was like 15 kids from multiple families sitting together. I'm not going to pass out 15 beach balls to the same group. Like, you get one per family, you know, like. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know, could we see if they'd give us 250 for $400? Will they bargain with us? Did we have any leftover last year, or did we get rid of them all? I mean, we might as well just do 200. I think, I mean, no offense to anyone else, I think I was the only one that was passing them out other than the DJ, so. And I had fun passing them out to people.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we buy 200 beach balls for $388.69.
And it's Surge, I'll second the motion.
Cindy motions, Serge seconds, all in favor? None opposed? You know me. Anyone else have any ideas that they wanted to think about? Any carryover from Wild West Fest things, or? I think the band was pretty much what we were trying to get carried over. Did we, I'm just gonna talk about it, but I think that because of the hassle that it requires, I think it's better to keep it no alcohol. I know at one time we did have alcohol at one of these. I think it's better to keep it at Wild West Fest, right? So I don't think I'd like to carry that over from the old Wild West Fest if I went, okay, good. All right. All right, so Movie in the Park will be September the 22nd, 2023. Perfect.
What was their serving time again?
Okay.
I don't think there's even a problem if they serve and stop when the movie
Before the
starts.
movie starts, yeah.
Because once it's dark, it's harder to have people up and down.
Well, I think it's
Well,
great to start before the movie. Because people want to come and eat and then sit and they can hold their burger if they want to wait. Or wait till
Right, and the
last minute.
problem too is that In-N-Out has these huge lights,
Mhm.
and if they don't shut them down and quit serving, then it was hard to see the movie.
I really think they should stop serving 15 minutes after the movie starts.
It's about what it's going to be.
Okay.
No.
It's not completely before.
Just, I'd like to bring it back. It'd be good to
And it seems like the last time they came, they actually ended up stopping before the movie
did.
started because it didn't get dark enough. We couldn't see the movie on
Well,
the screen,
and
so
then
they
last-
waited, and so then they were done and they left.
And then the sponsor brought the candy that year. The
Yeah.
movie candy. That was fun also.
That was
I think Serge watched that movie with me last.
My only concern with the movie last year, I couldn't see it. It was, something was wrong with the lighting or the,
Agreed.
yeah.
Katrina, do we have, Serge was remembering from last year's screen quality being poor. Okay. Yeah, let's go with the other one. Because I feel like 16 by 9 is small.
What was the size last year?
I thought one year we paid over $900 just to get the screen out there.
So I just want to say that this one, the actual viewable portion of the screen is that 16 by 9. Their actual inflatable is more. Well, I'm gonna let you pass that. So I have I have a question. How big is that frame, Mike? How big is that frame that you built for us to put up in the park? Do you know? The picture frame? I guess I'm just thinking we could put some hooks on there and grommet a screen on that if we had to, right? Still got an audio problem. Fair. 16 up by 9 over. This is the same size. It's 16 by 9.
So that's it.
No, it doesn't. It says 16 by 9. The screen is 16 by 9. They're dumb. I thought you said 6 by 12. I don't see a 6 by 12 one here.
Yeah, I wrote 6 by 12 also.
That's what I heard.
Oh, this 16 by 12 is the same. It's 9 by 16 viewable. They're the same size. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But they're calling their screen. Well, why does it say 16
And is
by
it
12
that about
viewable?
the same price for both companies? For the next size up as well?
Let me see the one that has the second one. Which one had the second one?
The one you just handed
Oh,
us.
You know, you're talking about $250 difference for the next size up.
we used to do these 3 times a summer.
As hard as it was to see the one last year, I would prefer the larger one.
We used to do 3 a summer in Nance Field, and David and them would climb up on the fence.
So,
In our defense, if you think about it, so over on Nance Field, we would put it on the back fence until that sheet or whatever we had shredded. And the guys would have to climb up there, and it was kind of a hassle, to be honest, and then they have to fold it, and it just kind of eventually shredded. So we liked this other version because they brought the sound equipment, they brought the screen. But if you think about the distance from where we used to sit, the screen was on the back post, and we sat in the pitcher's mound and back. So you sat right up on it. Last year, where Serge and I were sitting was like the outfield. It wasn't as intimate. We weren't close. Because of the way they had it set up along this area, it made it seem like you had to sit back and people put their sheets out and then everyone else had their chairs behind it. And we were spread out lengthwise. Whereas when you're on the baseball field, we just were inevitably closer to
Well,
the screen.
And there were people sitting in the bleachers, so everybody just sat in front of the bleachers.
Correct. And then people sat in the bleachers, which were so much farther back
Right.
from the screen.
So
Is there a
maybe we could
place
tell
in
them
our
where to put the
park-
screen.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we could have them put the screen closer to where people are going to be sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a place in the park that has that natural hill that helps you have theater seating? Well, then you pause. Right.
Do you think we could take it back over to Nance? Because it's darker up there. Parking?
And they run before the movie starts.
Right.
It got pretty bad.
Is there a place behind the fire station?
Oh, yeah, can we do Firehouse Field?
Just ask.
Because it's dark, right? No, we can, but when In-N-Out comes for the Halloween thing, they just park right at the back of they park on the ground. Would Firehouse let us park In-N-Out there and do the movie in the field? Did they renew our agreement? Do we? What happened to the HSA agreement? Good idea. Regardless, we need the screen. Regardless, we need the screen, right? So, yes. I personally would love to see us use that for something. I'm pretty much going to go with whatever anybody suggests. So will one of y'all suggest a screen for us? I don't know anything about it. Did you have a preference, Katrina, when you looked at them? Did one have better light quality or anything?
I think we should go with the bigger screen as well, and I think we could say that we would go with the company with Funflix that has the bigger screen, unless Ultimate Movies also has a bigger screen at a better price. Oh.
So my only concern if we pick a screen size is again, the quality of the video last year was horrible for me. I mean, I struggled. Yeah. So maybe moving it closer, as someone suggested, would help. Because it was way, way too far, and there was really a big gap between the screen and really the first row of people. So if we can cluster them together a little bit better, that may help too.
Well, do any of them provide some, like you said, some black sheeting or whatever to try to improve their product?
It's probably too hard to put it up and keep it up and,
Yeah, I
mean,
just
yeah.
suggested it because he was.
well, I agree with Barbara. I would like to try the larger screen. It's not that much more expensive, and if it doesn't work, then we don't do it again.
Is the larger screen also backlit? Yeah.
Can we decide later whether it's front or back? Can we pick the screen and then choose front or back based on, okay.
Well, this is Cindy. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the bid from FunFlix for $1,099 for the larger screen for movie in the park.
The surge, I'll second that.
All in favor? None opposed? Motion passes for the larger screen for movie in the park. Oh, it's here. So I don't want to take the thunder. Did you have something to say? Oh, I don't want to take the thunder away from anybody else, but I still have the youngest kids, I think, of the group. And I'll tell you that I can tell you what's not good, and there's one called Lyle Lyle Crocodile. We just watched that, and my kids thought it was the worst movie they've ever seen in their life. And I would not have gone that far, but I definitely would not choose that one. I was looking at the new releases. I have not heard of this Elemental, but it's not anticipated to be released in time, so that's probably why I haven't heard about that. Thank you. So, of these shows here, read them off. So, Strange World, cute but very deep for a kids movie. Super Pets, I mean, it's just kind of cheesy. Transylvania is always a good one. Puss in Boots is kind of a classic, but not always that exciting. It's a spin-off of Shrek, the little guy from Shrek. And then Lightyear was very boring, if anyone wants to know. I don't know, what did you think, James? The Buzz Lightyear movie, I was less than impressed, but people loved it. Yeah. So, Super Mario Brothers will be released in July. And I feel like you can never go wrong with Mario. And in July, having just been released to be seen outside of the movie theater, not a lot of people are going to have seen that movie, and it'll be popular, you know? So like this Gru's movie, whatever this one is, this Minions Rise of the Gru, it's really cute. The Minions are always popular, but it's kind of been out for a long time. And my family went to the theater to see it, and my kids loved it. So my thought, and this little turning red is negative. I'm going too far. So these are I'd stick with. So of these,
That's what I said.
so I actually thought just now I want Top Gun, but it's not very kid friendly. So it was great. If y'all haven't seen it, it was so great. But of the two front pages of the newer releases, my vote would be for Mario Brothers, just knowing that it's the latest to release right before. We're not going to miss it. It's not like it's September release. So anyway. Did the group that sponsors the thing have an opinion? Did we ask them?
And when we advertise for this, is the title of the movie part of the, okay. That would be important.
Since it's a new release, are we positive we can get it?
Well, that's what I was saying. That one's expected to release in July, and our movie in the park is September. So to be honest, if I know in July that movie is going to be at the movie in the park in 2 months, I'm not going to go to the Red Box or go to the library or go anywhere to watch it. I'm just going to wait until September for my kids to watch it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. So I feel like if it's released in July, it won't be not released by September. I feel like these release dates are pretty accurate.
And what,
I don't know. Have you seen it, James? Is it good? Like it's not even in the theater? Oh, so we don't even know if it's any good yet. Dang it. It's supposed to be good? Okay. How can you be wrong with Mario Brothers? Yes. Yeah. Questionable, right? Yeah.
all right. I move that we select and arrange to rent the Super Mario Brothers movie that comes out in July for our September movies in the park.
All right. So, Barbara, motion for Super Mario Brothers. Do we have a second?
This is Cindy, I second.
Cindy seconds. All in favor? None opposed? Cindy. So larger screen, Mario Brothers. Good to see you. Does she want people to bring that, or do they want to donate that instead of bringing candy?
So when we advertise it, we could make a suggestion that snack for NISD be donated. Well,
So I know what the nasty snack bags are, and they're for kids whose families are receiving free lunches in the school system, and they prepare a snack bag and they send them home with the child on Friday so that they don't go hungry on Saturday and Sunday before they can get back to school to get breakfast and lunch. Because you would actually be more than shocked if you don't already know this, but a lot of kids, the only meals they eat are the free breakfast and the free lunch. And so, I mean, when I was a kid, I received free and reduced depending on my parents' income at the time. And I'm not going to lie, that's the only time I was allowed to drink milk. because you didn't drink milk at my house because milk was expensive and the milk was for making potatoes. Listen, parents come up with some weird stuff when you're a kid. But when you only have 20 bucks and that's supposed to last you the week, you don't want your kid to be wasting the milk on the cereal. And I don't know if y'all's kids eat cereal, but mine just go like this with the milk. And I'm like, slow your roll on the milk. Anyways, my point is, I think the program is good, but I just don't know, like you're saying, the logistics and the legality.
Right. Well, I think it should be optional, because if you have your free and reduced lunch kids attending,
Yes.
those families may not be able
Yeah.
to bring
No,
a
definitely not a
donation, and we
requirement.
would not want them to be excluded.
It would just be a suggestion that if you wanted
It's
to
a
do it,
donation.
Could
Yeah.
we
An optional donation.
Could we spin it to where the realty group is asking that, as we're the exclusive sponsors and we're requesting that you participate in this drive, but it's not a requirement of our advertisement? Okay.
Okay.
I'm for it if we
real
can
quick
do it.
question before we make. So for me to understand, we're asking the public to bring food.
Uh-huh. Like applesauces,
Okay.
juice boxes.
Yeah, with maybe a suggested list of what could be
Okay.
donated. I mean,
versus
I would want to see
versus a-
that.
Sorry, but versus
Yeah.
a can of green beans, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if they
Yeah.
want peanut butter crackers or something like
Okay,
that,
snacks.
whatever. Yeah. They want what?
Not the big
I
bag.
don't know. I
Okay.
feel like this event is small. It kind of makes it a little.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Is there some other event that we could have them do that for?
What about doing something at 4th of July?
Yeah. Could we ask them as our exclusive sponsor of the whatever thing?
Right.
Well, but it goes to a pantry. And so those are shelf-stable items that wouldn't go bad
They still like applesauce. They all expire.
too soon,
Some
from
more
July till
expensive than
September.
others.
Okay.
And people would bring, they have.
Yeah, that's also true.
I mean, even though it's a good cause, I'm just not sure
I just don't know how it's
the
going to work.
interest.
Let's see what legal has to say about it.
Yeah, I think we could ask legal and just see, and if it's complicated, we can talk about it next time.
If you happen to have an email with the sponsor, but let them know that we're behind them 100%. If we can do it, we will.
We good? And we don't do popcorn anymore because of In-N-Out. That's plenty, right? And the candy. Okay. All right. So National Night Out is October the 3rd, 2023. Make sure you mark your calendar just to represent our little sweet group. And this is Sarah, and I motion to spend $400 to pay for the DJ for National Night Out on October 3rd.
This is Chuck, I second.
All in favor? None opposed?
What does the DJ do that night?
Oh,
So
he
the-
passes out the prizes, you know, they have the tickets, and he plays the music, and he runs the whole show. It's great. He
Okay.
talks about everyone who's sponsoring, you know, their own table, because everything at National Night Out has to be free.
Right.
There's
Okay.
no, you can't collect any money. Nobody can collect money.
Alright.
So he'll say, oh, this is so-and-so, and they're passing out their salsa from the feed store.
I just don't didn't remember that.
Yeah, it's more of an MC. I think he does good at that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, anything else for National Night Out? We don't really do anything else. I feel like you do all that. It's not for us, so it works out. All right, Hazlet Hustle and Fun Run, is that a postponed item? Because we might not have a road still with the, yeah. Okay, well, we'll just keep it there for maybe next year. Anyone feel strongly about the Hazlet Hustle? It's a lot of fun. Just a lot of work for, a lot of fun.
At some point, when the trails are finished and all that, maybe we will have places where we can do it
Yes,
in-house. So,
agreed.
yeah.
Okay. Are we getting lighting for the tap trail finally? Did we never decide that? Yeah, okay. All right. Christmas in the Park, December 2nd, 2023. We did. We did. Like Groundhog Day, you just keep living that same day over. Santa Heath. If y'all don't know Santa Heath, he's quite great. Oh, we need a motion for more money? Oh, Santa Heath. Ooh, he is good.
This is Cindy. I suggest that we pay $725 for our Santa instead of the $650.
Oh, my
This
word.
is Barbara. I second.
Either one of y'all. We'll take volunteers. We'll pay you. I don't know. We have room for one more. We won't ever turn away an extra elf. Motion has been motioned and seconded. All in favor? None opposed. Santa Heath it is. Until next year. How did that work last year? Was it popular? We didn't visit it. I didn't see it. I didn't get close to it. I didn't do anything. Anybody else?
I saw it.
You did?
There were people there. I'm not sure if there was really.
The first few years, the line stayed until after the event closed. I feel like that's not what happened this last year. So my kids didn't want to go in it because there was too many cold bugs going around after everyone was in quarantine for all that time. They were like, I'm not getting in that. All that flu flying around last year around that time. Yeah.
Well, that is a good point, though, because people are more conscious, especially in the wintertime, of being in a small space that other people go inside.
It was real cool until COVID happened.
So it might be something that we skip this year
Phase
and
out.
see if anybody says where was the
Yes.
snow globe?
See if anybody says, hey, red long sleeve shirts after we decide not to have that.
Is there something we can replace? with?
Yeah, for $1,500, we can get that bungee jumping thing if we don't,
Yeah, there you go.
we can hold off till the Christmas.
No.
What
Well,
other?
do they have something else that's an open frame? I mean, because the idea is to get in there and you have a picture made, right? Well, I
think we can skip it and look for something else between now and then. And at the next meeting, if anyone finds anything that seems,
okay.
maybe we could do a photo booth. How much was that remember that little car photo booth where only one, it was more open? Wasn't it a bug or something where people could get pictures?
I mean, they might have a sleigh, something
Yeah,
like.
like a sleigh photo booth. Maybe we can find a sleigh photo booth. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. See, we could have a professional person print out pictures with the sleigh by the reindeer, and then they would be outside in the sleigh. I have a cute picture of my kids at the one in Grapevine just sitting in the sleigh. Oh.
The other day when I talked to her,
I think they've overpriced themselves.
I told y'all last year that I actually called, was it last year that I did all that research? I know way more about reindeers than y'all want to know. Because I know that the game warden has to come and game off your property limits if you wanted to have reindeer, and they have to breed them to survive in Texas. And so there's this one company, and they lost one the year before, and I actually was going to buy a reindeer myself, and they're about 20 grand for just one reindeer. I mean, that's about 20 grand times the cost of one of my cows. So unless we put some antlers on a cow, which would be just as fun to me.
Most kids wouldn't know the difference.
No. Can we antler a cow? Remember we had that steer that we could take pictures on? But if the steer for the pictures is less expensive than the reindeer. Maybe we could put a steer with antlers with a sleigh and do the picture.
Well, right, I mean, a steer has horns,
Oh, okay.
so you could put tinsel on it.
Could we decorate him for Christmas?
What about a petting zoo where you have more than just one animal?
Not the one that pulled up in the white van, though. Didn't they have the white van and they pulled up with the white van and they put their little animal in the back of the van? Or was that the reindeer?
That was the reindeer we wanted.
Yeah, please no white van people. They literally had their reindeer in a little white van. No. I can catch some rabbits from my yard.
What? I just want to make,
Let's try a petting zoo. Petting zoo price? That'd be good.
Petting zoo and longhorn steer.
and I want to make sure that we have the slide and the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones they have downtown are so, I mean, they call it the ski, but it's the cattle mandarin.
And the liability for that,
Well, with any animal.
exactly. But when one of the horns,
I know, I got a busted lip from one when I was a child. Told my dad, "Wanna kiss me."
We did.
I was like 3 or 4.
I feel like
I've seen there's one down in Fort Worth that they have to, that's there all the time, and kids climb up on it and you get your picture taken with it. It would be like that. Very similar
Well,
to
it
that.
would have to be one that the
Yes.
attendant is right there every
Yes.
moment.
Yes. But did you get my query about the snow and the slide?
While you're getting back on that, would you find out just for fun on the cost of having a staffed metal slide? You remember the old one that we had that we hated because nobody wanted to lift those stupid little the little inner tubes up? Can you find out if they staff that, what the cost would be to have that small one staffed? Where they provide the staff. Staff, S-T-A-F-F. That's the one that we had when we had the two side by side, and we had it over there where the bleachers are. And it was so much fun. And that doctor came over from Texas Health and got stuck lifting all those inner tubes up for everybody. And he was such a good sport about it because all of our high school volunteers didn't want to do it because it was work. And so this guy was a physician from the Texas Health Group, and he was lifting up all the. He was very cool. That's why we went to the other ones, because nobody wanted to man the inner tube, because you have to drag that inner tube up, and the parents weren't willing to take it up for their kids.
Well, I'm telling you, they have just as much fun on the one that we do with the hay bales. And it never stops the whole time.
Yeah, no, I agree. But we
Yeah.
also have to have someone to staff it.
Well,
Well, if it's the one created on hay bales, they're just sliding down. What are they sliding down on?
A sled, a plastic sled.
Well, but So the kid carries it up.
Yeah, but the ones for the big metal one, it's
Right,
an
they
inner
can-
tube.
Right. I think that's why the ones we create.
But the kids
Are
don't
better.
carry them up. They get left at the bottom, and then an adult has to bring them up.
Well, if they get in line, they start the line
Right?
where they're
Some,
left. at
and
the bottom.
some of them would, but I had a neighbor that came and helped me when I was working it, and he did an odd, he didn't want to leave. In fact, I had to make him slide down it, and because he goes, really, can I do that? And he enjoyed the whole time he was there.
Yeah, and bless his heart, I just kind of walked up and was like, any one of you guys sitting over here want to help us man the slide? And they kind of pointed at a guy and said, I think it was after you were done. I'm not sure if it was the same guy. And they said, he's the youngest, send him. And I just kind of walked up to him and asked him if he would help. And he was like, sure. And then he helped that second half of the second hour. Was it, what do y'all did? You did
It was
it
one of,
first.
no, it was one of the, yeah, you have for a
You
little
did
while,
the
but
first
one of the,
hour, and then another guy did it the
one
other
of the guys
hour.
from Cowboy Church came over and
Yeah, the
helped.
Cowboy Church guy.
Yeah, and my brother.
And
My
did
brother
we
helped for a while.
purchase the things that they slide down on?
We did.
And they belong
So
to
if
us.
we go to a company like that, then those just sit in storage, right?
No, they bring those.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So what we purchased for the kids. Yeah.
But it was less than $100.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Right. No, I understand. I'm just saying that I think I like the way we did it, where we used the hay. I'm agreeing with Cindy. That's all.
I like them both. I just thought it'd be worth it. Remember how we've been stringing those lights in the Christmas part by ourselves? And then we said, hey, how much does it cost? And we said, done. Just saying. We paid a lot to have somebody come and string the lights for us, so we didn't have to do it. I just want to compare the costs for ice on hay bales to have us staff it versus someone else staffing the actual metal sled. Okay. For the what? DJ.
I move that we fund $500 for the DJ for Christmas in the Park event.
Chuckle second.
Barbara motions, Chuck seconds, all in favor? None opposed?
Not necessarily tonight, but do we need to look at ordering any more Christmas decorations? Yeah.
Didn't we spend $20,000 last year? Where'd those decorations go?
Well, do we have an inventory so we know what we've got that's workable and? Retired. Okay, if we could have that at the next meeting, we can work on that.
So Katrina, that's the next meeting thing.
Do we need to reserve the ice, the actual physical ice? Yes. Okay. Anything else that needs to be addressed today? Mm-hmm.
Well, that's critical.
Are there other places to get ice from besides emergency ice?
I mean, it would almost be worth it to pay an extra $100 or $200 to have them deliver it later if they need motivation. In my opinion, they should just deliver it when we want it delivered.
It's frozen water. Do we have can we just do an inflatable slide that the kids can just climb up and go down? But not the one with the fake snow. No, I don't mean not to do the snow. I just thought it would be fun to have another slide. You know, like those $300 rental inflatable slides that like the churches bring for 4th of July and stuff. So last year, Roanoke had an ice skating rink. It was very cool. I didn't go, but they had a bunch of cute little things. They were advertising horse cart rides and carriage rides and no, I'm just, you know, I just think it would be fun to have some kind of inflatable at the Christmas event. Either a bounce house or a slide or just something to let kids run their energy out. Because when I had little kids, I sure wanted to throw them in a enclosed jumping house and let them get tired.
Well, bounce houses always go over good.
Yeah.
Well, they do, and that's really better for the little kids than the big slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's look and see if anybody's got any Christmas themed
Can
bounce
you check
houses.
for that for us, Katrina? A Christmas themed bounce
Bounce
house.
house.
Okay. What about those ones where the kids ride on the, you know, the coffee sacks or whatever? You know, the metal slides that they ride the coffee? Yeah.
See, the kids are finally carrying it up. It's like you carry it. Yeah, well, that's a big slide. You wouldn't have any little bitty kids going on that one.
Okay. All right. Yoga and Tai Chi going okay? Doing great. Any other projects or ideas from anyone? No. City Parks.
Baseball season started. Field, they're working the driveway and the parking area. Summer. Bill. Oh, yeah. Flat. Yeah. Not off a lot.
Did they finally work out all the issues with the youth association as far as upkeep and all that stuff?
Not really. Probably.
Anything else? Community, veterans.
Gamble Park, playground, park.
Really? The one we just put in?
Turnbuckles on the sign,
Oh gosh.
mallet, usual sign, stuff like that. And then, I don't know if we got
Think that's from the wind or from the kids?
This is a chain link fence that they've, my God. Can we work on some signage?
You and your son.
Well, it just, it helped over there at the,
Watch your child. So I work in pediatrics. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, people don't care if there's a sign. They don't like to watch their kids. They'd rather play on their phones.
Well, what they do is they tear down the signs if they don't like the sign like they did by the basketball court.
I've seen people who are parents say to me in conversation, well, if she would just get off her phone, she's always on her phone. She doesn't ever listen. She's just always on her phone. And I'm like, oh, she's on her phone or you're on your phone? Which one is it? And who's the mom? I'm just saying.
Well, it
it's
is
just very
sad when
discouraging.
you see how much trash is left in the park. It's just disrespectful. I mean, come
Well,
use the
and-
park, but be
And look how long we worked at it and how much money we spent on that. And everybody loves it. And then people go in and trash it.
I think today's the first day I drove by and didn't see somebody on the park. It's cold, and I guess maybe they just.
Last week when it was so sunny and nice out, it was full every single day. Yeah.
Spring break. Are we getting trash cans? More trash cans? Was that part of our? Didn't we vote on a bench or trash cans or something not too long ago? Anybody?
I think they said the city was going to take care of that because
Oh,
it
okay.
didn't come out of our fund. But it's like there at the basketball court, there needs to be a trash can at almost every corner of that because there is so much trash. And I know we take a bag, a Walmart bag, and try to pick up, but it's amazing the kinds of things I have to pick up.
Yeah, there's not a trash can by the basketball court, is there?
Needs to be two.
2 feet.
And it's like if there was one at some of the corners of the post. Some people are just going to drop it in the trash can.
Anyone have any future agenda items? that they would
No,
like to
but
see
has
discussed?
anybody seen the community park?
Well, I have pictures.
Walked out there one day.
They're under construction, yes. Well, we will definitely have a ribbon cutting when it opens.
There's a view
It's
over
probably
the
thing I'm most
sand pit. You know, in the background, they're building that.
going up.
All right, no more items and nothing else from Katrina. We'll adjourn at 8:14.
David, Chris and I drove down Blue Mountain Road the other day. What is that building? Was it a church that burned?
No,
Oh, yeah.
they were a